All right, so we are back here in the shed once again this week. It's been crazy weather here in North Texas. We've had cold and rainy and thunderstorms and severe weather. So right now is a little bit of a break. It's a little cold. It's supposed to get cold tonight. So we're back in the shed for a couple days, so hopefully you don't mind. But this week's video, I wanted to show this Milwaukee Packout mechanic set. So I've shown this in a video before, but I've never actually done a tour of this. So this is the setup that I use for mechanics, mobile repair, that kind of stuff. Basically anything that's not involving work, just kind of side stuff or stuff here at home if somebody needs help. So let me turn the camera on here and we'll go through this. Okay, so let's start with what it is. So it's the rolling dolly on the bottom, the 2-drawer Packout, the 3-drawer Packout. This is the Packout socket set, the work top. This is the side mount, and then the first aid kit. So I am 5'11", and this is basically the perfect height for me to do any kind of work. I do like this top because it comes with this piece of marine grade plywood, which just has a really nice finish. And it's also, you can take it off. It has these 6 bolts here. You could take it off and you could replace it if you want. If it gets beat up or whatever, you could even put like metal or diamond plate or kind of whatever you want. So then right below that, this is the Packout socket set, which I wasn't the biggest fan of this setup at first, having the socket set up here, but I watched some other videos and some other people ran it this way, so I just left it, and I've actually come to really like this. So this is the, I think it's like 230 something piece set. It's basically 1/4 inch drive, 3/8 drive, metric and standard. So on the standard side, it's 5/32 to 1 inch, and on the metric side, it is 5mm to 19mm. Comes with 4 extensions, 2 3/8, 2 1/4 inch. It comes with a 1/4 inch ratchet, a 3/8 ratchet, and then 2 swivels, universals, whatever you want. And it's deep and shallow. So this set sits here perfectly. It fits in the Packout, works on. I like it perfectly fine. So then 1 drawer down, we have the 5-piece, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 6-piece Milwaukee screwdriver set. And these, there's some rubber gloves for like oil changes and stuff here. And then this is the Milwaukee pick set. This is the one I actually had in my truck and I put it in here. This is like one of the panel clip tools. I had somebody that was cleaning out some of their stuff and he gave this to me, so I put that in here. Some harness tape. This is super handy for like, I like using this for doing wire harnesses or wire repair instead of electrical tape because it doesn't get that sticky, nasty when it gets hot. Some razor blades, a little razor thing, and then 2 Mac pocket pry bars in here. On this side, we have a bunch of the Icon, basically the snap-on knockoff, for being honest here, pliers, but I actually really like them. So these are the flush cuts from Icon. These were also in the truck, and I put them in here. This has kind of become the hand-me-down box as well. These are the Icon side cutters. We have, these are basically Knipex twin grip copies, but the Icon. I had these in the truck also, and I really didn't use them. So I leave them in here and actually use them more in here. And then channel lock, basic knockoffs, but snap-on more look copy, I guess. Adjustable water pump pliers, and then we have needle nose, Icon. We have a USA-made set of vice grips. You could tell they're USA-made, just if you care. That little pin right there, here, let me set this down. This little pin right here is a roll pin instead of a rivet. That's how you can tell. And I think it says Peterson Manufacturing. And then we have a little rigid, this is like a 6-inch pipe wrench. I picked this thing up years ago at an antique shop for like $5. So keep that in there. Let's close that. 1 drawer down, we have these are the 6-piece, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sorry, 7-piece. These are the snap-on semi-deeps. It's 3/8 to 3/4. I 3D printed this little holder. And then these are the Icon 3/8 drive hex. And we have the same thing in metric. And it's the same snap-on semi-deeps and then the same hex sockets. These are the Icon, these are Torx, and it's quarter drive and 3/8 drive. And I also 3D printed this little thing. I have a lot of the Icon stuff, but for kind of a second tier, I don't mind it. I do have a lot of the Icon stuff in my truck as well, but for being second tier, it seems to work really good. This is a specialty 27mm socket for doing oil changes on the wife's car. And then we have the 4-piece, my absolute favorite impact set. These are actually kind of new. I just bought these. but just the plain old Pittsburgh 3/8 drive impact extensions. The set I've had in my truck I've had for over 10 years and never had a problem with it. And then I have the 4-piece, the locking Pittsburgh extensions. Again, these are just the plain old Pittsburgh, the locking 3/8 drive extensions. The fourth one, the long one's in the bottom drawer. I'll show you that in a minute. But again, I've had this same set, not this set, the one in my truck, for probably just as long, 10 years, and never had a problem with it. So that was something else I decided to rebuy. So one more drawer down. This drawer I'm not the biggest fan of, but I haven't figured out a better way to do it. So you can buy the foam inserts for these packouts. They come in a 2-piece. Actually, I have the other one. Hold on. It's right over here. Here's the blank one. It comes as 2 sets, so I haven't done anything with this one yet. But I don't know. I didn't like the way I did this, but it's the Milwaukee wrench set, and it's actually a pretty big set. It's 1/4 all the way to 1 inch, and then it is 8mm to 19mm on the metrics. It fits, but like I didn't do a very good job, so I might redo this at some point. But for now, it works. So then down one more. This is, I have these. I've done a video about these. I have a set of these in my truck, and I bought a set for here. This is the Snap-on PWC pliers, the wire crimpers and strippers and everything. So those are in here. I made this little kit with fuses and butt connectors and wire terminals and stuff. That's in there. A sort of heat shrink. This is a micro torch from Harbor Freight. And I think they're actually discontinuing this torch because they said that it was final sale. That means it was non-returnable. So I'm almost wondering if they're going to copy Snap-on or something. But it was like $8.99, so I figured, hey, for $8 is perfect. I did take the bottom off because it didn't fit, and I just didn't really like it anyway. And then I bought a Fluke 101 again. I've shown these tons of times. Probably my favorite multimeter. So I bought one to put in this drawer just because that's how much I like them. And then it comes with the Fluke leads, which the one in my truck I did have to actually update to the Snap-on leads, but that took a few years. This is my OBD2 reader. I have a different one in my truck now. So this is the old Blue Point one that I just keep in here. And this is that stupid harness for Chrysler vehicles. See, it's Chrysler 12+8 with the stupid gateway module thing, which the wife's car needs that. So I keep that in here too. And then an Icon. This is a 22-ounce dead blow. And then this is a Snap-on, I think it's a 16-ounce metal hammer. It's kind of left over from my truck, so I left that in here, and I haven't missed it in the truck, so I figured put it in here. And this is a Evercraft 1/2-inch drive ratchet. Honestly, I don't even know where I got this thing, but I never used it in the truck, so it ended up in here. There is no 1/2-inch in this box, just because that's probably a little beyond the scope of what I use this for. This just ended up in here somehow. So then one more drawer down, we have M12 charger, the other extension, this funnel, which I've had this funnel for years. I got this thing when I was probably in high school. And then just a rag to keep the oil around. One of the Braun lights. So this is one of the older versions with the micro USB, which I actually don't even have micro USB chargers anymore. The newer ones are USB-C, so I'll probably end up getting one of those to put in here at some point. And then I was on the Mac truck, I don't know, 6-8 months ago, and he had this thing used, $100. So I was like, I bought it. Did not have the battery. I had an extra 3 amp hour battery, so I put it on there. So this rides in here. I'm actually thinking about switching it because this one's in a lot better shape than the one in my truck. So that sits in there. And then, of course, on the side, I have the first aid kit just in case anything happens. So that is the mobile mechanic rig that I use the Packout for. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. All these YouTube algorithm stuff would be much appreciated.